What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Real Breakdown. We are back at it again, guys, with Avatar the Last Airbender. We are watching episode number 11, The Great Divide. Basically, guys, as we've stated before, we are doing a rewatch of Avatar the Last Airbender. We have watched this show many times before. It's a show that we love very much, and we're just kind of going through watching it during, this quarantine and just being at home. Guys, if you have not watched Avatar the Last Airbender yet, please add this to your watch later list and come back and check it out when you have. Today we're watching The Great Divide. Now, I know for a lot of people, this is like the worst episode in the series. I actually disagree. I don't think it's the greatest episode. It is a filler episode, which is just like an episode you could take out of the season and no one would really, notice. I don't think it's the worst. I think there's a worse episode that we're gonna get to later. And even their worst episodes aren't that bad. It's just, for me, honestly, The Great Divide is it's the one that they repeated on TV over and over. And I think I heard somewhere, I don't know where it was, but the reason they kept repeating that episode on Nickelodeon was because since it's a filler episode, it's one that doesn't require backstory. It was easier to get people into the show, so that's why they kept repeating it. But that's kind of why I was like, I've seen it so many times, I pretty much know everything that's going to happen. But other than that, I don't think it's bad. How do you feel about The Great Divide? I know it's people's least favorite.
I mean, I don't really mind it. When I'm watching it, I enjoy it. But if you're like, hey, do you want to watch The Great Divide? I'd be like, I could watch some other episodes, but I mean, I enjoy it.
I just wanted to see if you were one of those people that hates it, or...
No, I definitely don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't think there's a single episode in the series that I hate.
Alright, so here we go, guys.
Even the music, a bit different.
The Great Divide.
Aren't you forgetting the tarp?
Right, got it.
Sokka, you're supposed to put the tarp on top of the tent. So we don't get rained on.
Ordinarily, you'd be right. But seeing how it's the dry season, you're not. Besides, that tarp makes a pretty warm blanket.
But what if it does rain?
What if it doesn't? Then I would have put the tarp up for nothing.
It's like two schools of thought.
Sarah, why don't you worry about gathering the firewood? Because that kindling's looking pretty sorry.
Well, if you don't like my firewood...
Fine by me, if you're not gonna do your job.
Okay, I get the grub if you guys get the... Hey, where's the campfire?
It's a little dramatic. It's a little extra. It's being...
I feel like they're the animation's a little different too.
Well,
Yeah.
Lazy Bum.
Yeah.
King of the... Tennis. Okay, listen guys. Harsh words won't solve problems. Action will. Why don't you just switch jobs? Sounds good.
Whatever.
Come on, Momo, that's fair. Appa's got 5 stomachs.
Whoa.
5 stomachs, crazy.
We learned something today, guys.
There it is, guys. Great Divide. Wow. I could just stare at it forever.
Is it like the Grand Canyon?
Hey, if you're looking for the canyon guide, I was here first.
Ooh, Canyon Guide. Sounds informative.
Believe me, he's more than a tour guide. He's an earthbender, and the only way in and out of the canyon is with his help. And he's taking my tribe across next. Calm down, we know you're next. You wouldn't be calm if the Fire Nation destroyed your home and forced you to flee. My whole tribe has to walk thousands of miles to the capital city of Ba Sing Se.
You're a refugee.
Tell me something I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
I feel like everyone is so
Is that
extra.
your tribe?
It most certainly is not. That's the Zhang tribe, a bunch of low-life thieves. They've been the enemies of my tribe for 100 years. Hey, Zhangs! I'm saving a spot for my tribe, so don't even think of stealing it!
Where are the rest of the Ganjin? Still tidying up their campsite?
Yes, but they sent me ahead of them to hold a spot.
I didn't know the Canyon Guide took reservations.
Of course you didn't. That's the ignorance I'd expect from a messy Zhang.
Ooh.
So
Yikes.
unorganized and ill-prepared.
Fighting
for a
words.
journey.
Yeah, you're one guy against the whole tribe. I like this guy's attitude. It's so funny.
Sorry about the wait, youngsters. Who's ready to cross this here canyon?
One of them, I think.
I was here first. My party's on their way.
I can't guide people who aren't here.
Guess you guys will have to make the trip tomorrow.
Wait, here they come.
Oh my god.
Prim and proper, jeez.
Upper society.
They're like two extremes.
You're not seriously going to cave into these
Really?
spoiled Ganjins? I mean, we're refugees too. And we've got sick people that need shelter.
Well,
We've got old people who are weary from traveling.
Sick people get priority over old people.
maybe you Zhans wouldn't have so many sick people if you weren't such slobs.
If you Ganjins weren't so clean, maybe you wouldn't live to be so old.
I could smell your...
What kind of backwards thinking is
Put
that?
peacemaking skills to the test. You could share the Earthbender and travel together?
Absolutely not. We'd rather be taken by the Fire Nation than travel with those stinking
Well then.
thieves.
Then you should have stayed in your town.
As fools anyway.
I am not Thomas.
It's just hatred.
Here's the deal. You're all going down together, and I'll be here with fire, sick, and elderly across. Does that seem fair?
Well, I just realized he has one of those things on his head just like Zuko does, like the
Sorry,
prince.
Aqua. Making peace between people is his job.
His job's gonna make us cross this whole thing on foot.
Okay, now comes the bad news.
Sokka.
No food allowed in the canyon. It attracts dangerous predators. No food? This is ridiculous. Oh, you babies can go a day without food.
I mean,
Would you rather be hungry or dead? Now we're heading down in 10 minutes. All food better be in your gut or in the garbage.
He just pulled out like a ready.
I mean, I eat both ways.
Good
Turkey
care of you
leg
till we
and just-
get there. See you on the other side, buddy. Yip yip.
So they're gonna get there way faster, and everyone's just gonna be waiting. Like, are they here yet? Dang! Look, they have to like separate themselves. That's
Nice
dope.
bending.
The job's much more than bending, kid. Experts tell us this canyon was most likely carved into the ground by earth spirits who were angry at local farmers for not offering them a proper sacrifice.
Cool.
I guess the spirits are still angry. Hope you all brought sacrifices.
I love him.
Yikes!
Whoa.
Why'd you do that?
These people are fleeing the Fire Nation, aren't they? Gotta make sure we can't be followed.
Yep.
We'll be safe now.
Woo! Hail to the no. Ooh. Yep, now I see how he broke his arm. Ah, dude, if I saw that coming at me, nah, no chance.
Yeah. I would rather not.
That's so cool. Is that the first time we see him use the tornado?
I don't.
No, he used it against Boomy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's done it in like different ways.
What was that?
Canyon crawler. And there's sure to be more.
Your arms. They're broken.
Both of
Without
them.
my arms, I got no bending. In other words,
We're trapped in this canyon.
Especially earthbenders, because we've seen waterbenders that can bend with their mind, but like... And we've seen a firebender, but like, we've never seen an earthbender bend.
Yeah,
with
because
this-
it's a lot
all
about
like
stance.
stance and groundwork and...
Have to do with things like canyon crawlers.
it's the Zhangs. They took food down here even after the guide told them not to.
What? If there's anyone who can't go without food for a day, it's you pampered Ganjins.
Pampered
I hope you're happy.
Ganjins.
We're stuck in this canyon with no way out.
Why don't you thank yourself, food hider?
Look, sticking together is the only way to...
I'm not walking another step with the likes of them.
Now there's something we can agree on.
Any ideas?
No bending. We need to get out of this canyon. I won't die down here. I won't become part of the food chain.
Oh.
Oh.
See? We're going to become part of the food chain because of you.
Sure, unjustly blame the Zhangs like you always do.
Gladly.
Enough! I can help you guys get along. Ganjin's on this side and Zhang's on that side. We'll travel in two separate lines. Sokka, you go with the Zhangs, and Katara, you go with the Ganjins. See if you can find out why they hate each other so much.
I like how everything like ties into like the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
It's just very well structured.
Almost like they planned it.
So, you guys aren't gonna put up your tarps?
What for? It's the dry season.
Exactly!
Besides, we like to use the tarp as a blanket.
Finally, someone gets it.
You really think it'll rain?
No, but you can never be too careful, right?
It's like,
Two different people. Or,
yeah, but it's not like
different
you
kinds of
can't be
people.
too one way or the other. You can't be like too much like them, and you can't be too much like the other. Cheaters.
Would you care for some bread, Katara?
Cheaters.
So it was you guys who had food.
Oh, come now. You really think that tribe of thieves isn't smuggling food? Why should my people go hungry when the sneaky Shangs are stuffing their faces?
Well, I guess it's okay if everyone's doing it.
They're like excusing their own bad behavior
So,
by assuming
why
that
does
the
your
other
tribe
people are
hate the
doing it
Shanks so
too.
much?
Yeah, you're
You
right.
seem like a smart girl, Katara. I bet you would enjoy hearing some history.
I like how there's different animations too for the different viewpoints.
Yep.
The patriarch of our tribe, Jin Wei, was an
Wei.
earthbender
And then the other guy's Wei
warrior who
Jin.
was assigned an important
Jin Wei and Wei Jin.
transporting our sacred orb from the Great Eastern Gate to the Great Western Gate.
Sacred orb.
I know, man.
Where did they even get that
It's
from?
some lazy writing, let's be honest. There is some lazy writing here, and it's very
Represents
evident.
The sun's rising and setting. It was our tribe's ancient
And he's like, running like this.
ritual. But as he approached the gate, Jin Wei was attacked by one of the Shang. A vermin named Wei Jin. who looked
A
at him.
vermin?
Jin Wei and Wei Jin.
Yikes.
That coward Wei Jin knocked Jin Wei to the ground and stole our sacred orb.
What if they were the same
Our
person?
people have never forgotten.
Honestly.
You can never trust a Shang.
Oh man.
But how can you take one
But
one example?
that's-
Care for some meat?
Would I?
Would I?
I know what you must be thinking. We're horrible for endangering everybody by bringing food down here. The Ganjin think so badly of us, they probably assumed we brought food in and decided to bring food in themselves.
She's right.
That's why we brought food in. Our conflict with the Ganjin goes back over 100
He doesn't even care.
Yeah, he's not even asking. I like this animation's pretty cool.
I like the other one better, but-
When he saw a figure in the distance, it was a man of the Ganjin tribe, Jin Wei, collapsed on the ground. Noble Wei Jin stopped to help him. Jin Wei was transporting a sacred orb.
Look at his face
very
in a second.
powerful relic used in his tribe's redemption ritual.
When he's like, oh no,
Wei
save the
Jin
orb.
tried to
Yeah.
tend to the man's wounds, but Jin Wei insisted the orb was more important and asked him to take it back to his tribe. Kind Wei Jin promised to send help for the man as soon as he could. But as Wei Jin crossed the border to return the orb into Ganjin territory, he was arrested. Instead of thanking him for his kind and selfless deed, they sentenced him to 20 long years in prison. We Zhangs will never forget that injustice.
That's just terrible. You gonna finish that?
Sokka.
Sure would be not.
So Aang is the only one that didn't eat.
Lovely, isn't it?
Yep.
Being impartial.
Oh, and this guy.
I wish I could help these people get along.
Jin Wei and Wei Jin. Just can't get over that.
Katara, Sokka, will these people cooperate long enough to get out of the canyon? I don't think so, Aang. The Zhangs really wronged the Ganjins. They ambushed Jin Wei and stole the sacred orb. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Katara, what are you talking about? Wei Jin didn't steal the orb. He was returning it to their village gate and was wrongfully punished by the Ganjin.
Not punished enough, if you ask me. Okay, I get
Why
it.
did they care so much? It was one story that they heard
Together at the
once.
base of the canyon wall.
But that shows you that by saying a story only from their perspective, how they can convince an entire village to like believe in one thing.
Right.
Like that's just what happens through generations.
As soon as we get out of here, we can eat, and then go our separate ways. But I need you all to put your heads together and figure out a way up this cliff.
Maybe the Zhang can climb the wall with their long, disgusting fingernails.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that to the Ganjin, unclipped fingernails is a crime punishable by 20 years in jail.
Why, you dirty thief!
You pompous fool!
These are some harsh words.
They're just really cutthroat, aren't they?
Harsh words won't solve problems. Action will.
Perhaps the Avatar is right.
Yes, perhaps he is.
Harsh words
His eyes.
solve our problems.
Action will.
Dang. Yo.
Always gotta be taking things to the extreme, huh?
And let this be the end of this rivalry.
You know, I take it back. Harsh words aren't so bad.
Like, they're really willing to kill each other over a 100-year-old fable.
Okay, I would be salty about that. Oh. All the meaty goodness.
Is that food? Everyone smuggled food down here? Unbelievable! You guys put our lives in danger because you couldn't go without a snack for a day? You are all awful! So hungry. Is that big custard in that tart?
I love that.
Just for that, I mean, it's worth it.
They're coming back for me. They've had a taste, and they're coming back for me.
Stop it! Wait! I don't care about this stupid feud. I just want us to get out of here alive.
Me too. I only took their side because they fed me.
I mean, he's true.
Yeah, at least he's honest, man.
Yeah. He's like, wow, what a nice little breeze. Whoa. That was some anime stuff right there. Dang. I feel like that should have killed
Yeah,
some
how
of
did they
them.
not die?
Maybe they have strong bone structures. I love when he twirls that thing, man.
He would be a great sign turner, right? That's what they're called.
Wow, they're working together. Who would have thought that? Putting their differences aside to work together and survive.
What a plot twist, honestly.
Now follow me. We're riding out of this hole.
Literally.
That's pretty cool.
The song that comes when there's a resolution.
Get off!
We made it!
He just broke his arm again.
They're like, you made us climb all the way up just to
Wait, they
climb
won't
all
be
the
able
way
to
down.
eat because they still have the...
I never thought a Ganjin could get his hands dirty like that.
And I never knew you Zhangs were so reliable in a pinch.
Perhaps we're not so different after all.
Too bad we can't rewrite history. You thieves stole our sacred orb from Jin Wei.
You tyrants unjustly
What's that orb about anyways?
for 20 more
Right.
years.
Wait a second. Jin Wei? Wei Jin? I know those guys.
Yes, we're all aware of the story.
No, I mean, I really knew them. I might not look it, but I'm 112 years old. I was there 100
I
years
love
ago
this.
on the day you're talking about. There seems to be a lot of confusion about what happened. First of all, Jin Wei and Wei Jin weren't enemies. They were brothers. Twins, in fact. And they were 8. And most importantly, they were just playing a game. The sacred orb from the island, that was the ball. And the eastern and western gates were the goalposts. Jinwei had the ball and was running toward the goal when he fell and fumbled it. Wei Jin didn't steal the ball. He picked it up and started running it back toward the other goal. But he stepped out of bounds. So the official
A
put him
panda?
in the box. Not for for 20 long years, but for 2 short minutes. There was no stealing and no putting anyone in prison. Just a game.
You're saying the sacred orb was actually a sacred ball?
Nope, just a regular ball.
What about our tribe's redemption ritual?
That's what the game was called. Redemption. As soon as someone got the ball from one goal to the other, everyone would yell, Redemption!
It's a little
Wei
far-fetched.
Jin was kind of a slob, and Jinwei was a little stuffy. That much is true. But they respected each other's differences enough to share the same playing field.
I suppose it's time we forget the past.
And look to the future.
That just shows how flaky their traditions are if they don't even know like what their real
But
traditions
that does happen
mean.
though. Like after generations of the same story being told by different people,
That's true.
from their perspective, some that were there, some that weren't. Like that happens.
Well,
Right.
you know, I try.
Oh. Let us travel to the Earth Kingdom capital as one tribe.
I'm going too. I'm sick of this place.
That's some luck you knew Jinwei and Wei Jin.
You could call it luck, or you could call it lying.
What?
I made the whole thing up.
You did not.
I love this.
That is so wrong.
Now where's that custard tart? I'm starving.
The first time I watched this, I was like, what? I was
Yeah.
like mind blown. I was like, he made that
No
up?
way.
I was like, dang, you little sneaky boy.
I'll say, man, like the thing about this episode is that it's just so cookie cutter and it's so it's lazy writing. I will say though, like it's not a terrible episode. It is far-fetched, it's kind of goofy, and you know, it's super on the nose, but it's not the worst episode I've ever seen. There's some funny moments, there's some really funny like faces that some of the characters make, but yeah, funny moments. But there's good animation, there's cool animation, there's like actually a conversation to be had about, you know, understanding other people's differences and accepting them for being different. So like there's a message there. I just think it's super generically done and it's kind of far-fetched and kind of goofy, like too goofy, you know, and the resolution is just like, okay, well we got through the canyon, so let's just resolve it, and they just like, okay, let's just forget about it and let's travel together. So it has issues for sure, and I just think that there's no reason that you should be watching this episode a lot of times, which is what many people did. So it's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, like you said, a self-contained episode. Plot-wise, it does nothing. Character-wise, it does nothing. It's just like a fun episode. Like I said, like while I'm watching it, like it's fun, it's goofy, I laugh at it. You know, there's definitely a lesson to be learned from it, which, I mean, if you're just like a kid who had never watched Avatar before, you're just watching Nickelodeon, and there's nothing you like on Disney or whatever, and you're watching this episode, you're gonna have a good time, you're gonna learn a good lesson, period. I think that's definitely just what this episode was supposed to do. It did its job, it did it well. I mean, is this an episode that I'm gonna come back to and be excited to watch? No, but like, while I'm watching it, I'm having a good time.
I think if you've watched it once, like I do think that if this is your first time watching Avatar, which what are you doing watching this? But if this is your first time watching Avatar, you should watch it. But if this is like your third, fourth, fifth run of the show, you can skip over this. I mean, because it doesn't really have much of an impact on anything else. But it's not a bad episode, so yeah, absolutely.
I think when I was younger, I definitely appreciated it more. Because I remember, when I was younger, when he'd tell me, like, oh, can we skip this episode? I'd be like, what? No! Like, you have to watch all the episodes in order, and you have to watch them all. But, like, the more times that I watch it, and the older I get, you know, it gets a little old, it gets a bit repetitive.
Anyways, guys, that is it for episode 11, The Great Divide. Up next is episode 12, I believe, is The Storm, which is one of my favorites. So a really, really good one of this season. So thank you so much for checking this out. And we're going to go on to the next one. And hopefully you guys will be there with us. So guys, until next time, see ya.